A bunch of Raza creators and artists are getting called out for their responses, or lack thereof, to the ICE raids and protests in LA.
So all of y'all motherfuckers that be flexing, you have Hispanic blood and your parents are Mexican and stuff, this is like the moment y'all should be talking, calling out all of y'all.
Hey guys, I'm currently getting cancelled because I have not spoken up about the ICE raids, and to that I want to say I'm very, very sorry.
It's definitely interesting because some creators like Fuerza Regida and JOP, for example, have been pretty vocal in the past.
Acuérdense mi raza, que en Estados Unidos, si no hay mexicanos, no hay Estados Unidos a la verga.
That was back in January, but strangely Fuerza and JOP initially seemed radio silent now when the situation is worse than ever. Fans are all over their most recent posts calling them out, asking them why they're so quiet, and basically telling them to spread awareness on what's going on. Similarly, Peso Pluma, Junior H, and Tito Doble P seem silent on the matter in spite of calls on them to speak up, but it's important to note that all three of them are not US citizens, and especially in light of all the revoking of visas that's been going on lately with corrido singers, they might be playing it safe. But many are asking the question, what about citizens like JOP? Well, it looks like the masses were heard because in the midst of this writing, Fuerza Regida joined the throng of support with this post. The boys from the Augusto Papa podcast took to the gram to shed light on the positive work being done by Del Records, but also took shots at everyone in the industry that's been silent.
I want to give my respects to Del Records for being one of the first Música Mexicana label to provide the resources for the people in need, and I definitely think they shouldn't be the only ones.
So tag your favorite artist down below and let them know that you want them to speak on it and to not stay quiet. I think it's fair and just that they show some of that love back to the community that's in need and that is hurting.
Let's not forget when these artists asked us to buy tickets to go to their shows, stream their album, buy their merch,
buy their CDs, to go make reels, TikToks with their sounds, all of that. We literally showed support from day one. I think it's time. Literally, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to accept for them to be like, I can't talk about this or that. I don't think I can see them the same, and I don't know if I could support them.
In case you don't remember, Del Records is disgraced CEO Angel Del Villar's label, who was found guilty of violating the Kingpin Act and working with cartels. And he's now facing 30 years in prison. There's every chance he sees this as a good PR opportunity, but if it helps some families facing deportation, a good deed is a good deed. Now, while pressuring people into taking action might be effective, it doesn't always compel sincerity. Case in point, Wendy Ortiz had to take time off planning her big Hawaii streamer trip with DDG to post about the ICE raids because she was getting canceled for not spreading awareness.
Hey guys, I'm currently getting cancelled because I have not spoken up about the ICE raids, and to that I want to say I'm very, very sorry. Although I posted Instagram stories and I have gone to a protest, I feel like that's not enough with the platform I do have. And I'm not doing this because I am canceled. I'm doing this because I truthfully had no idea what to say or what could be helpful until now.
She goes on to read a list of ways migrants can assert their rights. The list contains fairly generic and well-known information, like you don't have to open your doors for ICE unless they have a valid warrant. But hey, it doesn't hurt to be reminded of this stuff. However, that didn't stop commenters from calling her spiel forced and insincere, so it's really damned if you do, damned if you don't. Same sort of situation with Lalo Gonbrazy, who posted about how messed up it is that people who come to make a living and have been here 25 plus years get ripped away from their families. But even he couldn't catch a break, with a majority of his commenters seeming pretty unsympathetic, saying 25 years is plenty of time to get your papers right. Damn. On the other side of things, we saw Lefty out here at the protests, leftying it up.
How the did it feel to get your little whiff of mace right now, buddy?
You shot my seat? Bro, it's nothing, bro. We've been in the riot before. I got la tarea, güey. I got la tarea, güey.
Say what you will, you gotta love how he's the same lefty whether on the set of a music video, in a protest, or in a zombie apocalypse. Snow the Product was also spotted in downtown LA, and there were other celebs like FaZe Rug and Peso who joined the immense groundswell of support for our Raza peeps who are getting it right now. Since around June 6th, ICE has been conducting aggressive raids across LA, making over 100 arrests in operations that are part of Trump's plan to deport record numbers of migrants. Demonstrations and protests protests have begun, and you've probably seen these images of cop cars being pelted with bricks and burned, with protesters waving Mexican and Guatemalan flags. Unfortunately, this seems to have played right into Trump's hands because he asserted that LA was invaded by illegal aliens and deployed the National Guard. It's a really tenuous situation because if Trump invokes the Insurrection Act and uses all the big tech violations of privacy, it sets a scary precedent for what type of 1984 things the government could do going forward. So this is really something that concerns everyone in the US regardless of politics or affiliation. What are your thoughts though?